Hi and welcome to this tutorial on interview skills. Today we're going to concentrate on the telephone interview. In particular, we're going to focus on common sense, the things that you should do before the telephone interview, and also the things that you should do while you're going through the process of the actual interview as well. Telephone interviews are simply used to save time and save money for the recruiter, but also for yourself. A lot of things now are being done more often on the telephone, in particular for customer service jobs, call center jobs, jobs where there is a high volume of applications and it's quite easy to do a telephone interview. So step one is find a quiet space. You'll be amazed the amount of times when telephone interviews are conducted that there's background noise, that there is something going on in terms of trains or cars in the background. You know, some people even sit in their cars for a telephone interview to try and get space, but what they don't realize is the interview is being distracted by the noise that's going on outside. Just because people can't see you, it doesn't mean that they can't hear what's going on. So again, this applies if you've got dogs, other pets, children in the background. This is a test of how organized you are. If you can't get organized for a telephone interview, are you going to be really organized within the job? And that's one of the questions that the interviewer will be thinking as they're asking these questions to you. Not only it's a big distraction, and so you want somewhere that's quiet and somewhere that you can have a proper conversation. And obviously, the objective is to get to the next stage of the recruitment process. So, step two is that you need to make sure that obviously your battery's charged, that your phone is plugged in. Again, another mistake people make is they go, "Oh, my battery's running low," or even worse is the phone cuts out. Again, that's a really common sense thing that you need to be aware of. Make sure that before the night before or a few hours before that your phone is actually plugged in, there isn't the sufficient charge, and you are in an area of reception as well. Again, there's nothing worse that if the bars or the signal of your reception is poor and you just about make out the other person on the phone line. Again, it's not good, and the chances are that if that does happen, you're not going to be going through to the next stage. So again, it's just basic common sense preparation. Make sure the phone is plugged in. Make sure that you're in an area of reception. And if you can't, or if your home does have problems with reception, use a landline. If you haven't got a landline, use a friend's home or family's home. Step three is have your CV ready with you. The employer is calling you based on the information that they've seen on that CV or application that you've filled in. So there's a chance, the chances are, in fact, that they will want to go through in more detail in the CV. They might want to ask some questions on your experience. They may want to know some more information about the current role that you're in. So have it ready. Again, there's nothing more embarrassing if an employer is going to ask you some questions on your CV and then you've got to go away and find it. It's just stressful for you. It's stressful for the other person because, again, they're probably focused on trying to have 20 to 30 minutes with you because there are so many applications to get through, especially when conducting telephone interviews. So have that documentation with you, have your CV ready to go. And it's these basic little things that will make you stand out because you are more organized and there's a better chance that you are going to get through to the next stage. So step three, have your CV with you ready when you're about to receive the call. Step four is again about documentation. Whenever you start any job hunting process, you will want to have the person specification and the job description in front of you. Think of them as the answers to a test. They're saying exactly what is required or what is required from the employer. So, for example, they might want somebody who's excellent at communication skills. They might want somebody who's got excellent customer service skills, somebody who can work under pressure, and they will spell that out for you within the job description. Therefore, when you look at that, you can prepare, you can think, well, if they're looking for that, what examples can I give them of where I've been successful in communication, if I've been successful in customer service? And if you bullet point your answers on a piece of paper, as I say, bullet point them, don't actually kind of write them out word for word as a script, but it's just, again, another simple step of being prepared. So step number four is make sure that you've read the person specification and the job description and you have them in front of you as well. Step five is just about preparing your answers. So as we just mentioned in step four, if you've got the job description and you've got the person specification, you've got a good idea as to what questions there's going to be asked. They're going to want to know why you want to work for them. They're also probably going to want to know your communication or customer service skills. Now that's an example if you were going for a customer service based role, which many telephone interviews are for. Again, there might be different examples of where you would have a telephone interview, but again, look at the job description, look at the person specification, and see what that person wants. Then what you do, as I say, step 5 is about formulating your answers. Just jot them on bullet points to kind of help stimulate your memory so that when you are asked the question, you can answer it sufficiently with examples. And the more examples, the more successes that you give, the better chance you've got of making it to the next stage. One further point to note that if you do struggle with those competency-based questions, in the description field in this video, there are links to how you specifically answer questions like, tell me about yourself, or why do you want to work here? What are your biggest strengths? So there's a whole host of tutorials as part of this channel which will help you. So don't get too stressed if you think, well, I don't know how to answer the questions, because there is extra help there for you. And the last little tip that I want to give is that when you answer the call, so when the organization contacts you, answer the call professionally. So for example, it might be, good afternoon, my name's James, how can I help you? It's, if you answer the phone as if you would do to your normal friends and family, sometimes there's big mistakes. You know, there's cases where people have answered the phone expecting it to be somebody else. First impressions count. You don't want to get yourself off to a stressful start by thinking, oh no, this person's going to think bad of me because I've answered the phone wrong. Just be prepared. The chances are it's going to be off a withheld number or a number that you don't recognize. But make a positive first impression. Be polite. And last little thing is be passionate. Be really focused on getting the job and having a good call, and describe why you want the job. And when you are asked questions, answer with enthusiasm, answer with passion, because obviously the people can't see you, so passion counts. So all the very best and good luck with your telephone interviews. Just follow these simple steps, which again are common sense, but most people do miss them, so really important that you follow them.